So my name is Lisa Alonge, and I'm the founder of Anniversary University. And we work with business leaders in the corporate environment, major corporations, leading nonprofit, higher education institutions from all sectors. But what they all have in common is a major milestone coming in the next 18 months to 5 years. And we help these business leaders really navigate leveraging an anniversary in a very strategic, purposeful way.
Beautiful. Hello, Lisa. How are you?
Jodi, I'm good.
All right, so I have so many questions. I have so many questions, but I'm going to start from the very, very beginning. As in, you are a business owner, a small business owner. Where did you start? I mean, what's your story?
Okay, the elevator on that, because I think every entrepreneur can probably write a book. And people often ask me, what is it that you do? And of course, I know their intention with that question is, what service am I providing? You know, what is it that I do? And I often say, what I really do is I face courage every day. I face adversity and, you know, how I'm going to pivot and, you know, turning down that inner critic that says, you have enough? Do you know enough? Are you enough? And that's what I really wake up and do every day. And then the easy part and the juicy fun part is, you know, like I say, you know, working with these business leaders, and they are chief communications officers, chief marketing.
Wait. I have to stop you. You're going to get too much. Where did you start? Who are you?
Well, that's what I'm about to tell you.
I'm so sorry. I was so excited. I'm like, but I want to know where she started from.
Well, where I started from was, I had my light bulb moment. It was many, many years ago working for a global communications company. I was an employee, and then I became what they call an entrepreneur. And that's when you have an idea, when you're, you know, an employee at another company, and you're creating something that's never been done before. And then, you know, long story, but the short of it is that I wrote a business. I had to navigate all the leaders around me to convince them that this was a really great business opportunity. And it really had to do with what I'm doing now. I had seen that we had done work in our portfolio for like Pepsi Cola on their 100th anniversary. And I thought, wow, pretty wow. And then I said, before I go do more of this work, I should really understand more about it. And that's really the journey began. And I gave myself the best education I could by speaking with all these leaders that had already leveraged an anniversary, had been part of the lead team. And oftentimes what I was hearing in my interviews, my informational interviews to learn what an anniversary really is all about for a company, I started hearing what they weren't saying, which how difficult it was. They were like a deer in headlights. They didn't know what they didn't know. This is one of the biggest initiatives that a company will engage in. It's enterprise-wide. The ability, the money, the time, the effort, and yet there was no playbook. There was no how-to. There was no place to go to convene with your peers to learn, you know, best practice and that kind of thing. So that was another light bulb moment that I had. And that's how I began Anniversary University, by bringing all these leaders together to the Anniversary Forum.
So when you're saying anniversary, a milestone, what are the milestones that they're hitting per se? I mean, people hear milestone, they think birthdays. They think, you know, like an anniversary, but it's an anniversary for a company. But walk me through exactly what that really means. So that way we understand what is the milestone that they're actually hitting, and what are you helping them with to like get the most visibility for it?
Great, thanks. That's a great question, Jodi. So the milestones that we are focusing on are typically the every 25 years. And again, I'm dealing with these multinational, mostly corporations, leading nonprofit, et cetera. And so I would say I'm really starting at that 25-year mark. And the younger companies really, that's when they really start to anchor in, let's say, but we go all the way up to 250 years. So typically every 25 years.
Okay.
Harley Davidson is celebrating every 5 years. They're using it as an incredible marketing vehicle and branding opportunity. But I would say classically, big anniversaries every 25 years. And so what we help them do is understand the strategic planning process. How do you set up the governing of this anniversary? Enterprise-wide, these are cross-functional leaders that are coming to the table. They're regional leaders globally that are going to carry this, initiative locally. How do you begin to budget? What is the strategic intent of the anniversary? That this is way more than a party. There's a whole host of things, I will say, that we, key initiatives that we help them focus on. And it really is starting with the end in mind and what they want to achieve.
I think that's it's amazing that
you do the anniversary forum to answer your question. We bring everybody together. It's like a conference. From there, we do anniversary visioning workshops. So we went to Southwest Airlines, by example, and we met with their communications officer, the marketing officer, head of global brand, and their culture, very, very big there. And we spent the day with them, and we really helped them begin aligning around the guiding principles for their anniversary. And that was 2 years before their anniversary.
So it's very interesting because you said a key thing in regards of it's not just a party. It is definitely a marketing tool. And it's definitely making sure that people that are understanding the relevance of it's not just, hey, we're hitting 25 years, but more so that there's so much legacy that's part of this, and there's so many people that are involved with this entire organization that we want you to understand where we started and where we came from. And that's why I think I started where did you come from? Because there's so many small business owners, innovators, entrepreneurs that are creating amazing things, especially right now in the world of pandemic that we are living in. But there's something that started, they had a pain point. There was something that they saw that they could do better. And that's like me going back to knowing who you are. Why did you feel that this role that you have right now was important right now? Despite what's happening in the world right now, but why did you feel that you left the world of being an entrepreneur and now you're doing this on a bigger level?
Well, right. So I left the corporate world as an employee, right? Because I did have a vision around this, which was education, really helping these business leaders to navigate what this landscape really is all about. And then I will say enlightening them, because I've had my enlightened moments around this all the time. And I get that by asking questions, because therein lies the answers. And I see an anniversary, it's all of what you just said and more, legacy, what's your story, what's your DNA? You have to look back in the rearview mirror and understand your founding principles, but the juicy stuff is out the windshield. It's where you're going as an organization. How are you reinventing? And so I really inspire leaders to think about using their anniversary as a gift to the people that you serve and the planet that serves us all. So this is really one of the pillars, I say, is about societal good and using your anniversary as a way to advance societal good more than writing a check.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I think that's one of the things that I really wanted to hear the most. And I think that what you're doing is commendable, but also it's bringing a company that has been around for quite some time to the next level, which is absolutely fantastic. What has the pandemic done for your business and for your industry?
I think like everybody else. So my annual event, this would have been year number 5. The anniversary forum was to be live in New York with a venue, with food, with a dinner the night before, with flying everybody in. And, I would say most attendees had already, paid their fee, and we had to, put a full stop on that. And now we're having this as a virtual event, and we're spreading it over 2 days. And it's my first time doing this, so I'm expanding like the rest of the world. And this will be June 17, 18. And let me just say, oh my gosh, the silver linings. To do the event live is a lot of money, a lot of money. It's a beautiful New York City. And like I said, it's a lot of money for me. And the folks that come are hotel and airfare and all of that. Well, we've just eliminated all of that. And the beautiful thing also is that more people will be able to attend. And I'm already seeing that happen. So I'm really delighted about that. So it's opening it up. It's costing them less. They don't have to fly and they don't have to take a train and all of that. So that's one way that we're pivoting. And the other way, the workshops will be virtual. We'll figure it out. The in-person workshop experience with a company. And we just did a proposal, but like everybody else, really, it was a Zoom engagement.
So you just like the whole entire, I mean, what you do is all about bringing people together, the whole entire, the field, is the field essence. I mean, I've known you for years, Lisa, and you are really all about bringing people into a nice calming situation where they feel like they're part of a group, they're part of a family, they're part of a long-lasting message. We're gonna not be together for a while. And now people are getting Zoom fatigued or Skype fatigued or Google Duo fatigued. I mean, everyone's just getting to the point where like, I don't want to be in front of the screen, and conferences are long days in front of the screen. How are you going to actually pivot that part of it? How do you actually have people engaged, but at the same time not feeling like, oh my God, I'm so tired, I want to do something else right now because I'm going to be here because my boss is watching me, or like I need to be present at a conference, but at the same time, I'm just tired of this.
Well, I would say that my work, I am not actually sitting in front of a Zoom camera all day long. Everything I did before the pandemic was, in terms of the cultivation of what I'm doing, was phone and email. And that really hasn't changed. If people want to Zoom, I'm totally fine with that. But in the bigger picture, I think, with clients, those that are having an anniversary in 2021, I just got off the phone today with a university that has having their anniversary 200 years this year. So I'm asking them, how are you pivoting, and how may we help? I have tremendous resources, just incredible agencies with that can lean in and lift up and expand the view of what they may do. And I do spend a lot of time inspiring people around not getting, not looking at the pandemic in terms of all the things that we can't do, but shifting the thinking to what can we do, and how, we all get presented with problems, and this being one, but it's how do we respond to it? And how does your company culture really get amplified at a time like this and collect stories? Because people's DNA is being revealed. And I think many of us are rising, I say, to the highest expression of our true selves. And I'm expanding along with everybody else. So I think there's opportunities here too.
Well, that was you just like definitely opened up the gateways of, you're planning events in 2021. We're living this right now. This is part of the anniversary for so many of your clients. How do you actually incorporate what's happening right now to the future?
Well, okay, so like I go back to the beginning that an anniversary is way more than a party, okay? And these are global, multinational. So it's a lot about the messaging. It's a lot about the storytelling. I'd say the content for an anniversary is the biggest piece of the pie. The videos created, the messaging, the logo, how it gets expressed. As far as the live event, that's going to be up to each individual company to, figure out what feels right for them, and for the ones that are in 2021 and, do they take a gamble and wait? I mean, there's all the variables there. That just are really case by case.
So what have you heard or what have you seen that this situation has done for your industry overall? I know that every industry is like everyone. I mean, everyone is just trying to figure out what it's going to look like in the future. And they've been thinking about, a lot of people are in like week number 8, number 10, number 12. But what is the industry showing right now?
Well, when you say the industry, what I'm doing is pioneering a new communications vehicle. Okay, so not really in an industry, so to speak, but I interact with industries.
Yep.
And I'm really the only one out here doing what I'm doing. I just I've come across companies that are doing a bit and a piece of what I'm doing, but nobody's really doing it all what I'm doing in the 360 way. Yep. So, companies, I mean, so how has it affected me, if that's the question? I've had some big proposals put on hold. One of them is, a food distribution company. Guess who's not, restaurants and, large stadium, institutional food deliveries. It's not happening right now. So, I've had work put on hold, but not all of it. Because if you're having anniversary 2021, you're not going to not do anything. The scope may change, the messaging may pivot a bit, but you're not going to 50 years, 100 years and say, well, it's been a pandemic, so, yeah.
You started your company, and you didn't mention how many years ago, but what would you tell anybody that right now, like where they're either furloughed or they are working from home and they're thinking, I'm kind of comfortable right here and I'm not sure if I really want to go back into that work setting, or they had that micromanager boss that was always on their back, but now they're realizing, I feel like I'm getting so much more work done, I'm so productive now. What would you say to the person that wants to start their business now?
All right. So first, when you say start their business, that's a big excavation journey. What business would I want to start? Right. So if you're working for somebody else and, you're getting that paycheck and you're kind of, it is about taking a personal professional assessment. And I think when you're going into your own business, you really want to tap into, what am I good at? What am I good at? What do I like to do? What do I do and the clock flies and I don't even know how long it's been? Like, pay attention to those things. And then, how may I turn that into a business? And what does the world maybe need right now? Those are the insights, like going back to, how I started, where did I see the gap and how might I fill a need? So they're really, I think this is an opportunity, tremendous opportunity for people to pause, to feel the space between, meditate, write, journal, think, ponder, question, dream, and see what you come up with. Just brainstorm and see what feels good, like feel your way forward. But I think working for myself has been a great thing. I don't think I can.
I love that you, the key thing is like you're dreaming it. If you dream it, you see it, you do it. Some people are just like probably seeing this as a hobby or they're discovering something new about themselves right now. What was that? What would be that moment of truth for you where you saw that the writing on the wall and you're like, you know what? I can actually make this that much bigger and better. Because the journaling, the dreaming, people are doing all these different things and they're not understanding that, hey, by the way, this is your passion. So what was that aha, I got it, this is it, I'm gonna run with it. And what should people be looking out for? Because if I'm doing it, all these different hobbies, because they think it's a hobby, not realizing I can turn it into a company, what was that moment for you to pivot?
I have to say, honestly, when I started this journey, I had a passion and it was rooted in some of the things that I shared with you about using an anniversary for a real purpose and for societal good. That is a big fuel in my engine, but there's a bigger picture there as well. But I wondered, am I really an entrepreneur? And I used to take these little tests, they, check little check mark, yes, no. And I didn't know what I didn't know. And I will tell you now, there's no question I'm an entrepreneur, because I go down and I get back up. I go down, I get back up. It's on my mind all the time. I see the vision of where I'm, of where I still want to go. I use metaphors a lot, but it's like climbing up a mountain, and you have all these different paths you can take. And sometimes you get on a path that's it's like a mudslide, it brings you back down. And then you got to like dust yourself off and like say, well, I don't think that was the best way. Maybe I'll go this way. And, but I never go down to the bottom of the mountain. I'm always, at the plateau, maybe just below. And then, but I keep ascending, and I think it's a wonderful journey. And I guess for those that are listening, I would say, follow your passion. And if it feels good, keep paying attention to that and keep moving forward based on that.
So during this time that we've been in this pandemic, what have you learned that was new?
Resilience, and resilience. And
great word.
Well, yeah, but life, okay? I mean, when you're an entrepreneur, it's inextricably linked to who you are. That's what I started off saying. People say, what do I do? I really, every day facing challenges within myself. And so it's the glasses that you choose to put on. And mine, when I put my glasses on, and what I see is opportunity, connection, empathy that brings people close. I call people up. I'm not looking for their business. I'm saying to them, tell me how your day is as a head of communications. What's going on for you? But it connects and unites people. And I'm not doing it just so that later I can get business. It's authentic. I do care, and I'm learning about their point of view and how they're, pivoting forward. So there's just so many things to keep me busy, to keep me, moving forward. And the forum is just, a month away, and it's going to be bigger and better than it may have been in person. And I love that I'm not spending all that money. I love it.
I do feel that a lot of people out there that were planning big events are saying the same exact thing, because they are taking that time to learn new skill sets, finding different ways to embrace with their present audience as well as new audiences. And so I think that this is a really great time. It's a reboot. I mean, it's a reboot for all of us, where sometimes we were getting a little bit too complacent. I had a phone call with a large company and 60 of their employees 2 weeks ago, and they were just stuck. They were stuck. We're like, we don't know how to do it like this. We know how to hire all the people. They come in, they do the lights, they do these events, and we don't know how to do it this way. And we feel that we won't have a job when it's all over or during this time. And I'm like, you know what? You shouldn't think of it that way. And I love that you've been teaching your clients where like there's so much more to this, and you use this time as part of your story, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's like going into the sandbox. Yeah.
No, it's true. It's absolutely true. Let's just say in a perfect world, tomorrow, everything goes back to the new normal. The new normal, whatever the new normal is going to be. What's your day look like?
My new normal day, Jodi, honestly, things are not that different for me. I really, I'm a solopreneur. I have a beautiful home office. I communicate, in this realm all the time. I'm very effective that way. I have to respond to clients, and their needs, but I think that, how things will look different is more connection through this, right? Rather than the face-to-face. But I didn't, I wasn't going to an office, right? So I didn't have some of those changes that others are really dealing with, and for that, I'm grateful. So I carry on, and I do think that things are going to lift, when and how, and are they going to be resurgence? We don't know. You just it's like waves in the ocean. If you try and fight it, you're not going to get to shore, but if you just sort of know that you want to get to shore, but you're going to relax into it, you'll get there without the struggle.
I do love your analogies. They make me smile.
Uh,
If you had an ask to put out there, so I have like at the end of every conversation with everyone, I always say, is there an ask? I mean, in regards of people that are listening, people that may listen and may just share it with their community, what would be the ask for you and what you do, or for you personally?
right. Of course, the obvious would be if you're having if you're connected with somebody that is inside of a large organization, or to be aware of Anniversary. Remember our name, Anniversary University. What we do is unique and so helpful to all kinds of leaders. And if you know people that are super talented in the storytelling arena, content creators, I love to build my Rolodex, with people that I know. And, feel free to call me, if you have roadblocks, and you're feeling stuck. Jodi said she likes my analogies. I really view what I'm doing as a personal journey, and it is about getting unstuck and facing adversity. And, I'd be delighted to help anybody that has questions.
Beautiful, Lisa. You are awesome as always. I mean, you've been consistent throughout the years. You have raised two amazing people that do phenomenal things in our world. And I kind of want to have your beautiful daughter on and talk to her too, because I'm so excited for that and what she's doing.
Yeah, Kelsey would love that.
Yeah, so I would really like to talk to her. But I do appreciate that you haven't stopped what you do. I mean, again, you're more passionate and you're learning new skill sets and you're adding more different ways for people to engage with their own companies. So many people are talking about what the companies are not doing great, or that they're so fatigued. But I love that you are really making sure that people understand that you are part of a community, and you should actually praise all of what the company does and all the people that are inside the company that are helping them get to that milestone. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you're doing.
And I love what you're doing, Jodi, and you have the most beautiful smile. If there ever was a cape and a tiara and a scepter to put in one's hand, it's your own.
Oh my God, you're so the best. You're the best. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
and
welcome.
After this is all done, I know that you said that your life is not that much different, but I'm just curious. I mean, I want to go back to everyone that I spoke to when we're in the clear, and it most likely will be in the fall when we're in the clear-ish. I want to see how it was for you, like throughout the past months and the future months. I want to know.
I think it's going to be a year, Jodi. I think it's to get a vaccine. I mean, there could be another restart. This is what I'm hearing from multinational corporations, these, communications officers. I mean, they're all over it, right? And I'm not saying they're all saying the same thing, but, I think we need a longer runway to reflect. I don't think it's going to be, there's reflection along the way, but I think the big reflection may take a little bit of time. But I think if I could just end with this.
Yeah.
Think analogy, beautiful music isn't often played by yourself. I mean, yes, there are solo artists, but oftentimes it requires others, and to reach out. This is a magnificent time to find people who are complementing to what you do, that can join you to help expand what you do. I do that all the time. Yes, I'm a solopreneur, but nothing I do is by myself.
Yeah.
We all stand on each other's shoulders, and that gets exciting.
And I think that's I mean, like, if nothing, not, oh my God, this is where I babble, and this is why I won't edit, because I won't edit. It's who I am. What I love that you're saying this is making sure that people are using this time wisely. And yeah, you're right. So many people assume that when you're working by yourself, you're only by yourself in your little bubble, and not realizing you have so many different resources of individuals all over the world that you can talk to. And I mean, and that's one of the things where I enjoy that a lot, where whether I'm in this country, whether I'm outside this country, whether I'm sitting at my desk, whether I'm at a conference, There's so many different opportunities as long as you let it in.
Exactly. Exactly. Ask for what it is you need.
And it will come. I do believe that.
Yeah.
Lisa, thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy day, because I know how busy you are. So I really do appreciate it.
I had to take off my sweatshirt for you, Jodi.
You look
I had to do that.
fab.
I'll send you Kelsey's information. I think you'd really enjoy speaking to her.
Awesome. I look forward to that. Thank you, Lisa.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.